Hey, Life Source Church. I hope that you are so blessed on this wonderful Sunday. And I just want to spend a quick second and just give some wonderful adoration on this Pastor's Appreciation Day. What a wonderful time it is being a pastor. I understand that all of the sacrifices that come with this job, and we wouldn't trade it for the world. But I want to share just 1 second a story that I have about your amazing pastor. And he is my best friend on the planet. He and I are some of the closest human beings that you can ever see or witness. He and I have shared a wonderful relationship for several years, and one of the things that he and I always wanted to do was to go into business with each other. We both are barbers, and we wanted to go into business with each other. And I remember having a conversation with him, and I said, you know, Brent, the only thing that's keeping us from going into business with each other is us. I said, because we were in a business that we could do it. We could have done it. And we went on about our lives, and we never could dream that God was putting this together, that now, you know, we are in partnership and we have this wonderful business. We're actually on Cherry Street, and our business is just down the road here. And we have enjoyed this wonderful privilege of working together in a godly business and having this wonderful connection. But let me show you something else that's really wonderful, okay, about this street, all right? Right there is Newman and Camden. It's Brent and I. It's one of our favorite spots that we always would go. And I remember when they first opened up, Pastor Brent had been transitioning into this new level of ministry. And God had begun allowing his pastor's heart to really beat with a brand new intensity. It literally became the focus of every single thing that he did. His entire day was consumed with it. He would try to make steps to make it manifest, to allow the ministry to manifest. And as he tried to do it, as you can imagine, you're going into this brand new, way of thinking and way of life. It's overwhelming. You want to make sure that every single person in your life is totally 100% behind you, and that all good things are said about it before you take that step or that leap of faith. And there were times where, he wasn't getting all of those thumbs up that he was wanting from all of the people around his life. And as I look back on that moment now, I realize that it was God saying, at what point are you going to fight for the beating of that heart? At what point are you going to stand up for what you know is the will of God for your life? I remember the moment that he and I were sitting on the wooden benches of this establishment over here. And I remember looking at him, I said, man, I want to tell you this. He said, man, I just know that God's doing something at this church. And you guys had started in the living room. And he's like, he was so excited. He lit up like a firecracker when he was talking about the people of his church and the people he was in partnership with in ministry. He lit up in a way I've never seen him light up before. And he's saying, man, I just feel God's doing something, but there are those telling me that I should wait. There are those telling me that it won't work. There are those telling me there already is a church. There already is a this. And he's like, I'm hearing all of these things, and he said, I sometimes I question what to do. And I remember the moment that God spoke into my heart, and I looked at him and I said, I want to tell you this, man. I said, regardless of where you are, regardless of what church it is that you're at, regardless of what car you're driving in, regardless of what business you're eating at, regardless of what sidewalk you're walking down, the pastor's heart will never stop beating. And regardless of location, regardless of praises from other people, regardless of affirmations of other people, regardless of all of those things, you are the one at the end of the night who is going to hear the steady, rhythmic. You are the one who's going to hear the steady, rhythmic cadence of a heart that is totally sold out to being a pastor, to being called and being led to be a pastor. I said, so regardless of what any person qualifies you to do, regardless of what any person tells you to do, you are a pastor. You are called to be that. When you speak to someone in any capacity, they will hear that anointing. They will feel that anointing. They will see you as a pastor. There's no stopping it. I remember from that moment on, there was something that lit in him as he connected to the revelation of what God had called him to be. I know he already had connected to it, but I really feel that the intensity stepped up to that next level as he no longer needed any person to tell him how good or how perfect he was. It was no longer about himself, but he knew that he was called to serve. He was called to have a higher level of service. And he stepped into this beyond. He stepped into this abyss. And now look at where you are. God has blessed you on so many levels. the powerful miracles and all of the wonderful things that are being, chronicled inside your ministry are growing, and that book is getting thicker and thicker. I believe there's going to need to be a library for all of the miracles that you all have documented. I believe there literally is going to have to be a library filled with books, and when we come in, they may say, "Pastor, what are these books?" He's going to say, "These are just the books of marriage restorations," and there's a whole library filled with them. This over here is just a library of the miraculous. This is just a library where this stopped and that stopped, and this is the library where depression stopped and people were healed. And I can just see massive shelves of books as you guys begin to chronicle all of the things that you have witnessed God do. And God is going to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think, and you have got a powerful pair of pastors, Pastor Kara and Pastor Brent, who are going to lead you to a place that will be beyond your wildest dreams, a thing you can never fathom or imagine. God's hand is on them. I appreciate you two so much from the very bottom of my heart. I have enjoyed every single second, every single hour that God has gifted to me to be around you. And I look forward to the many hours and days and years that I believe God is going to gift me in the years to come with the beautiful partnership that we have. I love you two so much with all of my heart. I cannot tell you how much gratitude I feel in my heart for you both being in my life, being there in a time where I didn't have a lot of people. You guys have always been there for me. And so many times you could have punched out. So many times you could have went this way or went that way, but you have stuck by me. And I want to tell LifeSource today, you probably already know this, they will stick by you through thick and thin and love you in ways that you never thought you could be loved. In times where you feel like they should have abandoned you, they won't. I'm living proof. They have been there for me through a lot of things. And I just want to tell you, Pastor Brent and Pastor Kara, I love you both with all of my heart. Have an awesome day. Enjoy this honor. You absolutely deserve it. God bless you guys.